Welcome to our exclusive interview with Leonidas, which is the driving force behind the product at Wattstor, which is called Podium, and it's our platform for energy management. But about that, Leo will tell you more. Leo, can you provide a brief overview of your background and how you actually get into Wattstor?
For sure. So I have been passionate about the energy transition and achieving net zero for many, many years. My background has always been into the energy sector and into product management. Particularly, I have been working with trading companies, helping them navigate the difficulties of the wholesale energy markets. So when the opportunity from Wattstor came along, I immediately jumped on it because it combines both of those things, right? It combines the transition to net zero. We're helping our customers transition to clean energy and net zero. And I can also contribute with my professional experience through the wholesale trading markets, which is something that we are also doing here at Wattstor. We're helping our customers access the wholesale markets. So yes, when the opportunity came along, I jumped right at it, and here we are today.
Yes, great. And so what are some of the key technical skills that you bring to Wattstor? You already said that you are pretty experienced with the wholesale market,
Yes.
But tell me more.
So Wattstor enables our customers to access additional revenue streams, right? So they can increase the return on their investment on their renewable system. And one of those revenues is the access to the wholesale market. Now, the wholesale market or the trading markets is a niche within the energy world, and it requires a very specific set of knowledge and set of skills. The big trading organizations, they have been trading for many, many years. This is how they have been making money. And they have been using what we call a price volatility in order to make money. They take advantage of low prices, so they buy, and then they take advantage of high prices, so they can sell. And they have been doing that for many, many years. This is how they're making their money. Now, Wattstor takes that price volatility and makes it available to our end customers. And not only we make it available to our end customers, but also we do it with a reduced risk for them, because we have the optimization and the forecasting techniques in order to give them the volatility, but with a reduced or no risk at all. And this is what I bring here for Wattstor, right? The knowledge about how the wholesale markets operate, how we can access the wholesale markets, and that coupled with product knowledge and delivering end-to-end product for our customers is what I bring for Wattstor.
Great, thank you. And what exactly are you working on at Wattstor? Let's get to our platform, Podium.
Our platform, Podium, is an energy management system, right? But what is an energy management system? An energy management system is an integrated solution. It's a solution that has two components. It has a hardware component and a software component, right? The hardware component, it's a device that goes onto a renewable site. And you can think about it as the muscle. It tells the site what to do. And it's also our eyes and our ears on the site. It tells us everything that happens on the site in real time. The software side is the brain. It's the one that it allows the customer to see exactly what's happening on the site at a real-time basis, but it also allows us to use forecasting in order to optimize the site and operate the site in the most economical and profitable way for our end users. So this is what I'm working on. I'm working on Podium, our EMS that is called Podium.
And how do you exactly do trading, like at the right time?
Well, that's a very good question. In order to trade at the right time, we're using forecasting. We try to forecast the price of the electricity at a specific time of the day. And this is something that it has been happening for years. It's not new. The electricity markets and the shape of the price curve, as we call it, it is pretty standard. it's pretty low the prices are pretty low over the nighttime when there is a low consumption, and they are higher during the morning when everybody is getting up to get ready, and then prices are again high in the evening when everyone is coming back home and they're turning on their ovens so they can cook. So we are using forecasting methodologies that they allow us to forecast that shape and the price. And that's how we know at what times of the day is the right time to buy and what times of the day is the right time to sell and capture that price differential, what we call the spread.
A part of the EMS is also battery. What is the role in this system?
That's a very important role in a renewable system. The battery is the controllable asset. It's the asset that allows us to control a renewable system. So a renewable system will have three components. It will have some sort of renewable generation, like photovoltaic PV panels or wind. It will have a storage system, our battery solution, and typically it has a load. It has a factory or a storage facility that it consumes some of that electricity. Without the battery, you cannot really control that system, right? Because the energy is generated when it's generated. When the sun is shining or wind is blowing, then you get the energy, but you cannot really control how you're going to deploy that energy. Whereas the battery, it comes in and it gives us the ability to store that energy and decide when to deploy it, either for self-consumption, to cover the load, or to export it to the grid and make some extra money there.
Okay, thank you. You mentioned several times the prices and the volatility. Latest news show us that there is more and more volatility in the markets. How does that really work? And can you explain why it is even happening?
Yes, of course. So volatility is more and more increasingly happening in the electricity markets. There are several reasons for this. The key reason, though, is the increased penetration of renewables in our generation mix. Like a decade ago, most of our energy, electricity, would come from thermal power stations, gas stations, coal stations. And this form of generation is controllable. You can control how much you're going to generate at any given point. So there isn't much volatility. So a decade ago, the volatility was reduced. Nowadays, we have renewable generation in our energy mix, which is really important because it does help us a lot in our transition to net zero. But it does bring volatility because we cannot control when the power is generated. And when the sun is shining, all stations are generating, right? All PV stations are generating. So there is an increased generation. So that uncertainty on the volumes that are coming into our grid, it creates what we call volatility, the spike of the prices. We have really low prices when all the renewable energy is generating, even negative prices. And then when there is no sun or there is no wind, we have high prices. And that price differential is the volatility. And we're going to be seeing more and more as the time goes by and we have increased penetration of renewable generation. And that's how batteries can help us mitigate that problem. Apart from the renewable generation, though, there are other reasons for volatility. There are reasons like geopolitics, for example, right? People have become very aware of that after the Ukraine war, where Russian gas became unavailable. And because gas is a key parameter for determining electricity prices, the movement of the gas price influences also the movement of the electricity prices. So when the gas price changes, also the electricity price changes. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing a spike on the gas prices right now in the middle of the summer because of increased demand in Asia. And that leads us in an increase in electricity prices here in Europe. So you can see that in a way, the electricity market has become global to an extent. But its connection with gas, it makes a global market essentially.
Can you explain why the prices of electricity is connected with the prices of gas?
Yes, because The fact is that most of our thermal generation, non-renewable generation, these days in Europe is coming from gas. Most of the coal has been phased out now, not entirely, but we are getting there. So most of our non-renewable generation is coming from gas. So the gas stations are the ones that they are providing us what we call the base load, right? The majority of our electricity. And as a result, this means that these stations, the gas stations that are using gas and they're buying gas at the market prices, they are the ones that they are setting the price, or they're largely influencing the price of electricity. That's why the price of gas is connected with the price of electricity, because we are using gas in order to generate most of our electricity.
Okay, thank you. And one more question outside of work. What are some of your interests in your free time? Are they connected to energy markets?
Outside of work, I like to spend time with my family. I like to spend time with my friends, and I like to play tennis whenever I get a chance. I think about energy a lot, but when I'm outside of work, I am trying to decompress, recharge my batteries, and come back even stronger.
Thank you, Leo, for insightful interview. And if you want to know more about other members of our team, please follow our YouTube channel or connect with us on LinkedIn. Thank you.